This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin Hadley. I am with hh2 Cloud Services. I want to thank you so much for taking a minute to watch this brief demonstration of our product. I'll do my best to get through as much as I can of this product in a short amount of time, and yet give you a good enough taste and flavor for what we do here at hh2. The module we're going to actually take a look at today is our document flow module. This module seamlessly integrates with both Sage 300 CRE and Sage 100 Contractor, specifically the AP module within those two respective accounting software systems. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. A little bit of background about hh2. We're a fully hosted cloud solution. We were born out of a general contractor here in the state of Utah. We have close to 3,000 companies using hh2 cloud services today. All of our products can be used offline, anytime, anywhere. They can also be used on any laptop or desktop computer by simply using a web browser. If you happen to be using a tablet or a smartphone, we also offer native apps that you can download for free from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store if you're an Android user. Of course, you have to have an account with hh2, but we don't charge you individually for those applications. Again, so you can use the web, mobile apps. Those mobile apps can be used offline. Now, let's talk a little bit about, today we're going to talk about how hh2 document flow works for AP routing and approval. We're going to talk about invoice acquisition, how to get invoices into hh2, the approval workflows, how to set those up. We're also going to discuss credit cards, how to capture credit card information, reimbursements, etc. during this presentation. First and foremost, we're going to build a foundation. Okay, so bear with me. In hh2, when companies sign up for our products and services, we really only install one item. That's called an integration client, because part of the reason why you're watching this video is you want a product that seamlessly integrates with your accounting system, ERP solution, such as Sage 300 CRE or Sage 100 Contractor. So what happens is when you sign up for our services, we install a sync client. It's an integration client that sits on your server. It's just a nice service that runs in the background and continuously synchronizes with Sage. What I mean by that is we're pulling over your jobs, your cost codes, your employees, your vendors, your AP information. All of that information found in your accounting system or ERP solution is uploaded to the cloud continuously, meaning we just stay up to date. So as you add or hire new employees, as you add jobs, cost codes, vendors in your AP system, they automatically upload to hh2. Therefore, people out in the field, people in the home office, when they're using our products, they're actually choosing jobs and cost codes, employees, vendors, and that came directly from your accounting system. Okay. We also pull over your commitments in that as well. Okay. So or POs, depends on which accounting system you're talking about. Okay. We're in hh2, again, in our document flow product, we can gather information from several different sources. We can scan from an email address. So if you have invoices coming in through billing at hh2.com, then we'll monitor that email box and we'll pull those invoices in. If it's emails or invoices going to your company name's Hogan Construction, it's going to be Hogan Construction AP at whatever. So we can monitor that. We can also monitor a folder on your network. So if you scan documents to a folder on your network, we can monitor that as well. You can also gather information or scan from your mobile device or simply upload that document right to the web. I'm going to do that today because we're not going to monitor an email on that for my demo. We'll just upload it to the web and show you what it looks like. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about workflows. So let's get into the product, give you a real quick look and a rundown of hh2's document flow product. So I'm going to log in today just from the web first. I'm going to log in as my AP clerk. Now, again, various people can have different permissions within hh2. You're going to have to bear with me. Due to the sake of time, this is going to be a fast demo for you. So in here, off to the left-hand side, you see all the different modules hh2 has available, from remote payroll, field reporting, HR, pay stubs, field service, etc. We're going to focus on this second one down, this AP. It's our document flow product. Now, in here, we're going to go to this first page. We're going to go to document acceptance. Document acceptance, think of it this way. This is kind of a depository or a repository where documents come before they go to data entry, right? It's just a place to collect invoices. Remember, if we're monitoring that email or that folder, this is where they're going to be dumped into. So you might have somebody in your company monitoring this page and saying, oh, you know what? Gosh, we got an upload, and this one had several different invoices that are separate from each other. And I say, well, these three belong together. So let's give this a thumbs up. And if I say, you know what, these pages are out of order, let's go ahead and rearrange those, those pages, I could do that as well. It just depends on what I want to do. Okay, and then I just accept this as one document. I'm going to close and not really do that today. I'm going to deselect that. If it's just one page, I click one page and say, yep, that's its own individual invoice, click that. So that's what happens if I get a bunch of pages in at one time together. Okay, I think you get the idea. Now, there's a host of things that I could do here, but again, due to the sake of time, we're going to be a little bit more timely with this. Let's just go ahead and upload a document by clicking the upload button, and let's browse for a file on my computer. And I'm just going to use A1 Electric as our example today. Upload that document. So in the amount of time I've been talking there, I just uploaded a document. It has 2 pages, and I say, you know what, those 2 look great. Let's go ahead and give it the thumbs up, accept that document. Now, once I accept the document, really, it's just saying, hey, you know what, those pages belong together. That was pushed to data entry. Now, let me take you to the next phase, and it may be either the same person or a different person in the company who is doing the data entry. Well, you can see I uploaded this one on July 7th. So let's click on it here. And there's a few things that we do here at hh2 that are very unique. So pay attention, I'm going to go fast. When hh2 moves a document from acceptance into data entry, or the data entry queue, we OCR that document automatically for you. It's not extra, we just do it. That's what we do at hh2. We automatically OCR that document. Therefore, when I pull up that document in data entry, it tries to pick out the vendor that by reading some of the text off of that document, right? So, hey, it's great. It automatically read the vendor. That vendor, again, remember that it came from my vendor list in AP. Now, this header information, this comes from your header fields in Sage. It all depends on your configuration. Everybody's are a little bit unique on your header fields. Again, we pull that information from your accounting system. Now, to make it simple today, since I've already had this invoice in here, I'm going to tap auto capture, and it automatically grabbed my invoice information for me. I didn't have to enter it in myself. I just clicked a button. It grabbed all the detail for me in the various fields. Well, for my invoice today, we're going to call it 0707-2020. Okay, that's my invoice number today. Now, you may ask, well, what about if I have an invoice with that same invoice in the system? It's going to error out, and it's going to tell you already have a duplicate invoice. So we never allow you to have a duplicate invoice in the system. There are several reasons for that, but I won't go into that right now. Here's my invoice amount, 116.13. My description, I'm just going to say short demo is my description, and we're going to approve that header information. We have to approve the header before we drop down to the distributions. Now, in this particular area, you can see this distribution fields are distribution fields that you will decide what you want available to be able to do with this invoice. It's up to you. If you're a company that manages or handles commitments and say, hey, you know what, I know this needs to be applied against a commitment, again, we pull those over. It's either a commitment in Sage 300 CRE or it's a PO in Sage 100 Contractor. If I select that particular commitment or a commitment item, it automatically starts filling that information out for me. If I want to see where I'm at on a specific commitment, I click the I button, see where my commitment information is at, where I'm at on that commitment, etc. Don't have time to explain that, but I can choose that. If I don't know that information, okay, if I don't know that information, maybe all I know is the job. Okay, let's go ahead and just get rid of that. Let's say the only thing I know on this particular one is the job. It's not tied to a commitment. I just know the job. I need to send it out. Well, in hh2, we send it out through a workflow. Those are designed by your company. But I can click this button and quickly just send that out and say, you know what? I want to send this either to the superintendent or the PM that's over that job so they can do the job costing for me. Completely up to you. Again, know that it's configurable. Now let's talk real quickly about those workflows because those are important. In my little workflow today, I did what we call a job manager workflow. These are configurable by your company. They will be designed with hh2 and you just coming in here and showing you how to design a workflow setup. Today's presentation, I'm going from superintendent. That's who I routed it to. Then it's going to go to the project manager. Then it's going to be routed to the AP manager. That's the way I have this one set up. The reason I have this little node up at the big top is if I ever wanted to just say, hey, you know what? I have no idea what job this goes to. I'm going to send this out to Bob. Bob knows who it goes to. Once Bob puts in the job, it'll automatically come back to the route and route it out to whoever I need to. From here, I set up these different individuals, and then I can decide on the right-hand side what permissions these individuals have when they receive an invoice. Okay, that's a simple workflow. Now, if I wanted to do a more complex workflow, I might have something in here that says, hey, if it's coded to a job, I want to send it down this workflow. If I coded this to a GL or a GL group, I want it to go to the group manager. And I want it to flow through there. And then hh2 can even do decisions and say, hey, you know what? If this is less than 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever amount you want, I want it to just drop down to the AP manager. However, to be on the safe side, if anything's over 5 grand or 10 grand or whatever your amounts are, I want it to go to the VP, just so they have eyes on it and make sure that everything looks legitimate. And then I want it to flow down. So these are ways in which you can design hh2. Okay, just know that. I'll kind of move through that. So I moved that through to the superintendent. So if you don't mind, a lot of superintendents love to do things on their mobile phone. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up my mobile device. What you're seeing today is live. You're seeing exactly how our product works. So I'm going to come into here, swipe up there. I'm going to tap on here, and you'll notice in my document flow app here at hh2, it has the number 12. That means this person has 12 invoices in their queue right now, sitting and waiting for them. I could have gotten a push notification notifying me that I've got a new invoice to approve. Now, once I open that up, you'll see that I now have an invoice here for 166.13. It's coded to the Northwest Food Warehouse. When I pull it up, there's my invoice right here in front of me. This is the exact same one that I just sent through in the office. Okay, there's my header information that came across. There's my short demo, my invoice number. If I want to see the distributions, well, right now it's coded to the warehouse, and my job as a foreman is to just choose a cost code of where this invoice goes. Well, we're going to put cement paving and its materials. That's my category. So I just put in the cost code, the category, and if I'm happy with it, I just hit approve, and I'm done with this invoice. Now, before I leave, I'll let you know that I can reroute this. So if I have a question about this, I can reroute it to someone else. I also have the ability at this point to hold on to this one till I have further information. I can reject it back down to data entry or somebody below me. I can dispute it, say, hey, this is not my job. Whatever. Well, this guy has the permissions to delete it. Most of the superintendents wouldn't. If I want to see the vendor details, I pull that up. Oh, well, I can see the vendor information, the insurance, where they're at. That might be helpful for some of you. And then some of the other things I can do, maybe I want to write a note on this particular invoice. And so I'm going to tap in here. I'm going to use the microphone, and while I'm talking, my app is going to do something called talk to text and allow me to put in a note on this particular invoice so somebody up above me can see it while they are approving the same invoice. Okay, so it did a pretty good job. I'll just leave that there. I'm going to hit done. So I put in a note. I do have the ability to do annotations on this if I want to as well, but I'll save that for another day. And I'm just going to say, you know what? I want to approve that invoice. I'm done with this one. Well, then it just brings up the next invoice in my queue and I can do it. Now, we'll follow this invoice out for just a minute, but before we do, I'm going to show you something so I don't have to come back into here. Let's say that I also picked up something from the store and I want to send in my receipt. So the office has it and I want to job cost it as soon as I left the store. So I'm going to say quick receipt, and lo and behold, here's a Lowe's receipt. I just went to Lowe's the other day on Saturday, and we're going to go ahead and save that receipt. And as you can see, you can pinch and zoom. I can see my totals. You'll notice here that I purchased a, what did I purchase? I purchased a fan is what I purchased there. Probably doesn't say it here, but that's what it was here. But that's my receipt from Lowe's. So if I want to, I can tap on OCR here to OCR this document, and you can see my transaction was on July 3rd. Actually, it was last Friday and not Saturday. So it's July 3rd. There's my amount, was $107.23. And it actually did a pretty good job. It pulled up my vendor, my Lowe's. So we're going to keep that. So it did a good job. Let's go ahead from right here and say access to distributions and say, well, it's a fan I picked up for the Northwest Food Warehouse, and we're going to charge it to, oh, it doesn't matter. We'll do concrete finishing just to put it in there. We'll say materials because I don't have anything else. And we'll say, you know what, everything else looks great. Well, if I picked up a bunch of different materials and delivered them to different jobs, I can also use this button right here to split my distributions out to different jobs. But I just want to make you see, it was easy for me to catch. For some reason, there we go. For some reason, my mouse had disconnected. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. I apologize. So let's say back at the office, again, I had this invoice going to a project manager for review, if you also remember. Let's log out there. Let's log in here. Let's go to a project manager level, Tom Brooks. We'll tap on Tom here real fast. Try and making this as quick as possible. Tom wants to look at his invoices. He comes in here and says, oh, there's an invoice here, and it's for $116. It's this date. This is the day that I've been using. Let me take a look. Oh, well, there was a note, and I've got a setting turned on where it automatically brings up the notes. I'll come in and put my new note. This is a PM note, right? So I can type on there. So I put a note in. The superintendent put his note in. If everything looks good to me, I might just click approve and be done with it. And it'll take me to the next invoice that I have in line. Okay, this is a brand new invoice, etc. So it'll just keep moving me through my invoices here. I think you get the idea. Now let's log out. Let's log in as the payroll, or excuse me, the AP admin again, Laurie Becker. And Laurie Becker is in charge of capturing some additional detail. Laurie Becker says, hey, you know what? I need to go into my invoice list, and I want to see all the invoices that are in progress here, or maybe I want to do a filter. We'll add a filter and just say, you know what? I want to see every invoice for A1 Electric. That's all that I want to see today. And then it would show me all the invoices for A1 Electric. Well, if you remember, this is the invoice we're working on, 7/7/2020. I did one yesterday as well. Well, let's take a look at that. Where's the progress? Well, it's at my level. I can give it the thumbs up and just say, you know what, that looks good. They've job costed it. I'm fine with that. If I want to see more detail, I just click on the invoice itself. It opens up the invoice for me. And as you can see, it opened up my notes. Well, I can read the notes that Frank put on it. I can read the notes that Tom Brooks put on it. I can put in my own note, AP notes. You know, we'll do that as well. We'll save that one, and we have the information there, okay? So it's very simple, very easy to do. I have some notes. If I want to see the history of this particular document, where it's been, what's happened. Anyway, you get the idea. So from here, what I'm going to do is, I'll go back to that invoice list for you just a minute. And we'll do another filter. We're actually going to do a filter called final review. So we're going to go into this particular area called status and say, show me every invoice that I've approved that's ready for me to push into my accounting system. So I've got these invoices here. Anytime you see this arrow off to the right, I can say, you know what, I want to push in this invoice, and this invoice, and this invoice. Then I click this button right here, or click each of them individually, and then push those automatically into AP. Where this goes in, it goes into, again, your AP system. It goes in to be paid. So from there, you have to go in, select pay this invoice, and then process that invoice in there, okay? So hh2 just gets the invoice out of here into your AP system for you to pay and process. We also, not only do we push this information in, but also in the attachments, we push in a link that pushes in all of the information that we just captured there, whether that be PDF information or whatever. It just depends on, let's say we did this one and say, you know what, I want to add a filter, and I want to see every invoice for A1 Electric. Let's go ahead and look at those. Let's say we want to do a PDF of all of those, and you know, depends on which ones we want to, you know, select. We'll add those. We'll just add that and download those here real quick. Okay, so we download those into a PDF. Again, this is the information that we have. So we have A1 Electric. We have where they went, the header, the distribution, the history of that document. All of this information is being pushed into your accounting system. Okay, as that link. So that's hh2 document flow. Also, for credit cards, what you will do on the credit card side, you'll say import credit card transactions. This will be the place that you'll come in, you'll download your credit card statement from your bank, import it into hh2. It's going to match up against any receipts that are already in hh2 and create a separate, unique, individual invoice for each one of those transactions for you to see, review. So if I'm in AP and I go to this invoice list and I just want to see all my credit cards receipts, I'll add another filter, come down here and say, show me everything that's coded to Frank Galloway's credit card. And if I apply that filter, it'll show every invoice that's going to Frank's credit card here. Okay? So anyway, just to give you an idea of how to see that, how to view credit cards. From there, each one of these can be pushed into as an individual transaction into AP as well. All right. But again, that's a quick down and dirty demonstration of our AP solution. I've done about a half hour. If you want to know more, simply go to hh2.com, which is where I'm at. Click on products, come down here to routing and time approval, click on learn more, click on the pricing, and it actually takes you to the bottom of the page. This is where our pricing is found. We start out at $159 a month when everybody signs up. We charge you $159 for your first month. We give you 8 hours of free implementation training where you will work one-on-one with our implementation specialists to configure your system unique for you. And then after that, we invoice your company based on the total number of invoices that have been routed through hh2, whether that invoice was a credit card transaction, whether that invoice had 1 page or 20 pages. Each one of those are unique, and we bill you accordingly. So if you had one invoice that had 18 pages, that only counts as 1 invoice. And so 1 month you may have 200 transactions, so we would send you an invoice at the end of that month for $219. 1 month you may have 500 total invoices that went through hh2. At the end of that month, we'll bill you $399. I know many of you are either have a solution or are looking at solutions that charge you by user licenses or seats. There's no such concept of that in hh2. Once you sign up for any of our modules in hh2, you can have unlimited users, no matter if they're field users, admins, project managers. It doesn't matter in hh2. You just sign up, use the product. We bill you at the end of each month based upon your actual usage. There's no long-term contract to sign with hh2. It's a month-to-month subscription. Now, what I will do is just bring up one more slide, just with my information, as well as another gentleman at hh2, our sales manager. If you need to get in touch with us, please feel free to reach out at khadley@hh2.com. This is my information, my phone number. Also, our sales manager, Britton Bauer, his address is bbauer@hh2.com. There's our 800 number. One way or another, we're happy to help you out. If Britton and I don't answer, you've got other salespeople that you can talk with. But we would love to hear from you. We appreciate your time watching this brief demonstration. We'd love to do a one-on-one to answer additional questions if you might have them. But thank you for taking time to watch this presentation, and I hope you have a great, wonderful day.